Hey everyone, today we'll be going over LeetCode problem 238, product of array except self. This is another problem off the Blind 75 list, which is a list of problems commonly asked during technical interviews. In this problem, we are given an integer array called nums, and we want to return an array answer, such that the number at each index in this answers array is equal to product of all the numbers in nums except the number at that specific index. And we are told that we must write an algorithm which runs in linear time, however, without using the division operator. Now, if we could use the division operator, this would be a very simple problem to solve. In fact, say we have this nums array, and we want to return an answer array. What we could do is start off by finding the product of all the numbers in nums. So we would have 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. And so we know that the product of all these numbers would be 24. Then, in order to fill out our answer array, what we would do is simply divide this product by one each number in the nums array to go and fill out our answer array. For example, for index 0 in our answer array, we would go and divide 24 by 1, and so we'd have 24 in our answer array at index 0. This is in fact the product of all numbers in nums besides this 1 at index 0. If we do 2 times 3 times 4, we'd in fact get 24. Now for the next number in our answer array, we take 24, divide it by 2, and we'd get 12. In fact, if we multiply all numbers besides the 2, we'd have 1 times 3 times 4, which would give us 12. For the next number, we would take 24 divided by 3, so we'd get 8. And for the last, we'd take 24 divided by 4, and we'd get 6. And this would be our answer array, which we can return. However, we're told that we cannot use the division operator, so we're going to have to figure out another way to solve this problem. So what we can do is go and divide this problem into two parts. We know that for each number, we want to find the product of all numbers besides that specific number at the index. So for example, for the number 2, we know that we want to multiply the 1 times the 3 times the 4. And this can be divided into two smaller problems. We want to multiply all the numbers which come before the 2, and so we can consider this the prefix. And we want to multiply all the numbers which come after the 2. We'll use a different color for this, and we can call this the postfix. So what we can do is basically run through this nums array twice. And in the first time we iterate through, go and add all of the prefix results to our answer array, and then we'd iterate a second time over this nums array, and go and multiply to the already numbers existing in the answer array, these postfixes, to get our final answer. Let's run through an example to see what that would look like. During our first iteration, we'd multiply for the prefixes. So we're going to start off with the prefix, and the prefix initially will be 1. The reason why we're choosing 1 as our prefix is because this is a neutral value, which will not affect our result. In fact, for the first number, the number 1 at index 0, the prefix value of this 1 is going to be 1 because there is no prefix. If we chose 0, that would just zero out all of our response. So because there is no prefix for the number at index 0, we know that in our answer, we would just start off with our prefix, which is 1, and go and add that. So we'd have 1 in our answer so far. Then we'd want to update our prefix for our next number. And the way we'd update our prefix each time is by multiplying this prefix by the number at the current index. So we do 1 times 1, and so our prefix at this point would still be 1 because of this multiplication. So I'm putting a 1 here to say that our prefix is 1 at this point. So we are now ready to update the next number in our answer. We have the 1 as our prefix, so we'd go and put that in our answer. And then what we could do is we go and update our prefix number once again by multiplying by the next number in our nums array. So we know that 1 times 2 is equal to 2, and so we're ready to update our prefix value, which will be 2. Now we can go and put this new prefix value in our answer array, and so the next number in our answer array will be 2. Again, we need to update our prefix, so we multiply the 2 times 3 this time, and we get 6. And we take the 6 and use it to update our answer. We have now filled out all the prefixes in our answer array. We must iterate once again, this time for the postfixes. So again, we're going to start off our postfix with a neutral value of 1. And we're going to go in and multiply this value by our already existing value in our answer array. So for the last number, because for our postfix, we're going to be iterating from the back towards the front, we'd have 1 times 6, and so our answer would remain 6. We then update our postfix value by multiplying the 1 by 4, and so at this point, our postfix would be 4. We then take this 4 and multiply by our 2 at the next position, and we update our answer so that it is now 8, because 4 times 2 is equal to 8. Again, we update our postfix, so 4 times 3 is equal to 12, and so our next postfix value will be 12. We take this 12 and multiply by our 1 in the next position in our answer array, and so we'd have here 12 at this point. Again, we need to update our postfix, so we take the 12, multiply by 2, and at this point we'd get 24. And then we take this 24 and multiply by the last number in our answer array, and so we'd update this first position so that it now has 24, because 1 times 24 is 24. And at this point, we'd have completed both iterations, and we are ready to return our answer. As we see, we only iterate through the array twice, and so it is a linear time complexity algorithm. And we have solved this problem without using the division operator. We're now ready to write up the code. We can start off our code by initializing our prefix and our postfix values. And we said that these will be initialized to 1. Then we want to prepare our answer array, which initially is an empty array. During our first iteration, through our nums array, we want to go and multiply the prefixes. So what we're going to do is each time append the new prefix, and for the first number, the prefix is 1, which is what we initialized our prefix to be. And then after this, we want to update our prefix by multiplying by the current value in the nums array. Now we want to go and multiply the postfixes. And this time we're going to iterate from the end to the beginning of the array. During each iteration, what we want to do is update our answer array by multiplying by the new postfix. And then we want to update this postfix by multiplying by the current number. And at the end, after both of these iterations, we can return this answer array. And I'm just noticing we have a typo here. Instead of res.append, our array is called answer, so it's going to be answer.append. Now let's make sure this runs. And I see we have another typo here, so we need to add the T here in postfix. And it runs. Let's make sure it submits. And we see that it works efficiently. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you on the next one.